Energy is the way that we get our motivation, our focus, the base to be able to create something massively big. That's how we get into curiosity. That's how we become highly creative. And if we can't find our energy, it drops us and brings us into those 60,000 ish words that we say every day to ourselves. I mean, that's what the latest research is. Probably you've heard that stat before. What's interesting is I think if you're not doing a lot of mindset work, because they say the average person, when they're thinking subconsciously, things that are moving, is 80% of that is known to be negative. And if we have a lot of negativity and we don't even know it, but our whole body gets affected by this. Instead of our nervous system being and doing the things that it's supposed to do for our body, create pharmaceuticals, create the healing in our body that we need by just being calm. So if we're thinking 80% negative stuff, it's totally taking our energy away. Our adrenaline is going, our nervous system, instead of it being like this, it's doing this, trying to reset itself. Because every time the nervous system is frazzled and off, which means your thoughts, your 80% negativity of your stuff that you can't even hear, but it's just a cycle going on that we thought we could never tap into. But the latest brain stuff is saying be calm, be quiet, meditate so you can start hearing what's going on. And I can remember that day, it was big. I could start hearing stuff. And before that, I heard this stuff with me talking at myself, breaking myself down. And I knew that it was taking away my energy, but I didn't know exactly what it was because this was probably about 15 years ago when I started noticing this. But I can remember laying in my bed, hearing my family in the other room. So my kids right now are out living somewhere else and not at home anymore. They're adults. I love it. They were in the kitchen. I'd say actually maybe 15 years ago. Jeff and the kids, my hubby, he was hanging out with them. And they were laughing and they were playing. And usually I get up, we get up together, Jeff and I get up, okay, let's go do something. Well, I was not getting up that day. Well, I didn't know when I was going to get up because my whole spine felt like it was going to break. Like if I turned any direction, it just felt like it was like probably doing this, because a lot of nerve endings in the spine. And so what I did is started crying because I'm like, I want to be with the kids. Like I hear them laughing. I want to play. I'm a mom. This is so important to me. And I'm not there. And I could hear them having fun. Giggly, giggly. You know those soft voices that you hear when your kids are so young? You know that voice that you go like, I have to record that because that voice is going to be gone at some point. Bam, it switches into more of what their voice is really going to be. So I put one knee up while I was in bed, then the other knee, and I just started moving slowly. But I could feel more of the muck coming on, like, oh, you're moving? I tried to push you down. I could feel that. And I call that a sabotage suit. Like I was wearing my suit, a sabotage suit all over my body, pushing me down. And I've had this for so long. And so I thought it was just normal. I didn't question it. Now, before I go on any further, does anybody have a story like that where you're trying to be somewhere and you just feel like you can't? And it could be mentally, it could be physically, it could just be distance away. And the choices you've made have brought you to where you are at that point. So as I'm pulling one knee up at a time, barely being able to do that, I was afraid of my lower back. And I started swishing my knees back and forth while I'm on my back. And I'm going, oh, this hurts so bad, but I'm going to get myself up. And at this time, I was big ego, still like thinking, well, my body can handle anything. I'm just going to keep, maybe like hurting it. So I think this was actually about 15 years ago because I've been going through some really cool things. So we'll talk about that, about energy in a moment here. So I put my knees off to the side and I put my feet down on the ground and I'm sitting up and I start hearing kind of what's happening in the background, but not fully understanding that this is going to be something new for the moment because I'm going to start hearing words. So then I stand up and I actually finally fought that push down that I used to get all the time. Like people used to call me lazy because I would just be pushed down and I was afraid to get up. There was anxiety happening and I was living in it all the time. I just didn't know it. So as I stand up, I'm getting bold and I'm fighting against, this sabotage suit that I'm wearing. That means like, like this anger at me that I didn't know where it was coming from. Well, it was coming from the mind, from just the processes and the software from over the years. And I hear, you're ugly. You're not worthy. Everything you have, it's not for you. You don't deserve it. You're this small. You think that you're bigger than that. How dare you even think that? Well, as this conversation is going on, which I'm not having control over, I just hear it and I go, what? But I knew that I've been hearing these things because it was kind of comfortable. So I start moving one step at a time. And I could feel my body aching so bad, but I felt an empowerment that I could finally hear those voices that was going on subconsciously. So I start walking to the bathroom just to look at myself in the mirror. This felt so different, and I wanted to lean in and start listening to what was going on. And I look at the mirror and I'm crying. I said, I'm not ugly. I'm worthy. I deserve what I have. I've worked very hard. I'm not lazy. I trust myself. At this moment, I finally started reconciling all the stuff that was stealing my energy away. And it was that programming that was happening that I just thought, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. What's the excuse I can make? Oh, so-and-so wants me to do something. What excuse can I make? 'Cause I really don't want to do it. I can't envision myself doing that because I don't want to do it. And it was all because anxiety. So that was the morning that I realized that I was having issues with healing my body. Because the third step here, which I've talked about, you got this impact, and now we're speaking to energy. And if your videos flip flop the other way, just so you know, this is energy right here coming up to the healing pillar of the plaque: freedom, safety, and healing. So I start noticing that I have more energy, that I'm smiling. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can hear this. And I got dressed and I went out and I hung out with the kids. I hung out with Jeff. And that was the first day of consistent days of me sharing, Rhonda, you're so lucky to be alive. You're so lucky to have these kids. Oh my gosh, your husband is, I need to speak to my husband more. I need to love on him more. And that was the beginning. There are even times when I would stop and just start crying and saying, I can't believe that we have this relationship. And before that, I was in battle with him. And through the years after that, I'd be in battle with him off and on, just seeing things that weren't right. There were a lot of things that were right in my life. Everything that husband and wife that we built together was amazing. I could only see the stuff that wasn't working, and I just kept fighting. So if you think about right here, this is what I want to share with you. This side is like everything that's not working. And I was in that lane and I knew there was a good lane because sometimes I'd poke over there and I go, oh, yeah, I'm going on vacation. Oh, how good. Oh, life is good over there. Look at the sun is shining. Oh, the sunrise. But this was my main lane. And it's not real life. If you get stuck here and you see all the bad stuff in life, that's a choice because there's a lot of bad stuff and it's going to take your energy away so bad. But what if you decided this path? You wake up in the morning, giving you example here. You wake up in the morning. You know that breathing in means that you're here for the day. You get to be with everybody. You start feeling the gratitude. And if you have a partner next to your side, you're talking about the gratitude. Instead of all the things that aren't working, you're talking about all this stuff. So lucky to have our kids. Sweetie, I'm so lucky to have you. I'm so happy that yesterday we got to work in the yard. This is going to be a great Monday. So you take that path, and all there is gratitude. Now, there's going to be things coming no matter what. This is life. These are both life situations. You're going to find things that aren't working, but you're going to have the power, the stamina, the energy, the vitality to be able to deal with this. If you decide to take the path that's not working and you're stuck there and it's clunky and your body just feels so heavy and there's sickness over here, consistent, exhaustion, you're going to get some good and you're going to have like a couple days. You're going to go, okay, that's perfect. Because your abundance level of imagining what can happen for you in life is really stuck when you're on this path. But what if you go on this path where all of a sudden you're seeing all the magic? Then you can create life in a magical way and have, excuse me, I'm the swear here, a shit show coming at you. But you're building your stamina so much that you get to be strong and say, okay, these things aren't working. I really need partnership. I need support. And support is that you're feeling really good, but you're saying, I can't do this all on my own. I want to partner with people, and things get bigger and bigger. And what I call this to create my energy and my flow is hashtag speaker locking arms. Now we're speaking about bigger things. So my question for you is, are you on this path or this path? All the bad, grab some good. All the good, let the bad come in. Instead of just the sprinkles of the good, you're living in the good. Now, from there, you bring that together and you know that you have a combined village of support. Your kids love you. Your husband loves you. Doesn't mean the regular stuff that happens in your relationships that can not be so good. When you're having a hard day, you're hard on them, or they do something and you get affected by it because you're allowing it to affect you and it takes your energy away. But here is where your nervous system calms. Right path, left path come together, but the left path, you're really on that feminine, that strong, but you need the action too. And so you get balanced on what side you need, what you want to be working on, your feminine and your masculine. Masculine would be more movement forward in action. Feminine is about relaxing, getting intuitive, leaning in, loving on stuff, nurturing, and allowing yourself to be. Now, your nervous system is not doing this, but it's doing this, maybe this. But your body starts believing, your mind and heart get more cohesive, and you're able to step out of your box. Notice there's a bigger world, and you're not in your tunnel vision, and all of it is just this. That's a hard place to live, and most of us live there. This is where your energy gets stolen. As an AADP certified health coach, I care about every spot on this healing pillar. As a business coach, I care about all the spaces of your freedom. We will be doing a series in that. With here living in this world and doing a lot of virtual things and being in front of people and wanting to be my deep, authentic self, I believe this safety pillar is important. And every step along the way about learning to love yourself, about being in the raw emotion, allowing yourself to be in that raw emotion. So you see, all the pillars are important. And I talk about those interchangeably. But seriously, the healing in our body, we need that space to breathe. Who out here has ever had that feeling that you can't breathe anymore? You just can't breathe anymore because you're so stressed. Think about how stagnant of energy and the bounding of your flow happens. There is not much flow. And that's when cells in your body, we have like 74 trillion cells. And I'm throwing 74 out there, but 70 trillion, whatever it is. We have trillions of cells in our body. Some of them won't want to leave. They'll just hang out because they're like, I don't feel safe. I'm going to have everything slow. We're just going to bound it up. And that's when chronic stuff happens. Chronic disease is rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto's, um, the body combating itself. I mean, all the inflammation, all the liver, just like stagnant stuff where you're eating too much sugar and it inflames your body. All of that is not serving the body. And at some point, we can get into my 25 years in the health industry because I intertwine that with business also. I intertwine that with the energy. What is your passion where you want to get out and discover you? Discover everything that is you. And it's not selfish. The more that you get to know yourself, know those subconscious things, know those movements and the way you interact and the way you look at people, that people pick it up before you do. Like if you're going, and people will pick that up like, here, wait, they're judging me. We all learn the hard way too. If we really start leaning in on those people that are fighting with us, those people that are just like, leave me alone. You're too negative. It's very difficult to be with you. I don't know how to spend time with you, but I love you so much. Like those types of conversations, remember, there's something going on for you. Lean in and understand what that is. Just understand. So then you can make changes because changes is where your energy is going to lift. You're going to feel lighter in your body. The scale isn't going to tell you how heavy or light you are. Let me tell you a story. Okay, so this is I was in Italy. Yeah, I was in Italy. I was in Greece. We've been doing some trips these past couple of years. It's been really fun. I was in Greece, and it was like close to 100 degrees. It was like one of those. Remember last year in a lot of places it was really, really cold and really, really hot, and I was hot, and so I went and held on to a tree. I learned a lot about trees, and so I held on to a tree, and I just took deep breaths in. And I just exchanged oxygen back and forth, and all of a sudden, with that heaviness, that sweat, that exhaustion that I felt going up a hill like this, I felt like I call it beauty 17. Because I'm like, how much energy can I bring in? When I was 17 years old, can I bring that much energy in? Can I get light enough in my body? No, I'm not talking 20s. I'm not talking 30s. I'm not talking 40s. I'm talking 18, beauty 18. So I'm breathing in with the tree, beauty 18, because that's my thing. I need to hashtag that, by the way, just like my hashtag speaker locking arms. Oh, you have to tell you what all that means if you haven't heard what that means, by the way. I released the tree and I'm like on fire. We're talking serious fire. So all of a sudden, we have a hill like this, walk up. I'm just like, bum, bada, bum, bada, bum, bada, bum, bada, bum. Like, I'm just moving, man. I'm like, my lungs are actually as healthy as they are, but usually I get anxiety when I go up hills because I'm like, my family's in better shape than me these days. What am I going to do? And I really actually am in better shape than I tell myself. And that's so many things that are just so wrong. You know, you got to dial that in and say, why is the anxiety there? So then I realized that I have all this energy. So I'm just like smiling and freedom and like, yes. Anybody else ever feel this way? Like all of a sudden just something happens and they call it like the body fat burning stage. So I meet up with the kids. I'm all smiling. I see Jeff over there. I'm like, yeah. And then Jeff comes up and we're climbing up more up this hill because it's way up here. And then we're looking at all these beautiful buildings. We're crossing over this rock quarry kind of a thing that you could walk around. But, I mean, we're just like people are walking across to get to another really cool building. Well, I used to run all the time, no matter what. If I was like going to a short distance, I would run. If I was dropping the kids off, if I went into the school, I would run to get to the car. It just felt so good. I just run everywhere. So I start running across the rocks. Okay, so before this, I'd step on a rock and I go, oh, balance. Oh, balance. Oh, balance. I'd just be doing the like stopping myself. No, I'm running on these rocks. They're about this big, but there's a point, like there's slates also. So if they're wet at all, they're going to be slippery. So I'm running. I'm like, yeah. And I have my phone. Yeah. And I slide down one of them, but I didn't fall. But my phone, I just threw it. Whoa. Because it like balanced me. And my whole phone crashed. And I was like, okay, there's a reason why my phone's supposed to crash. Like, I'm not supposed to have my phone, except maybe take pictures, but I can rely on other people to take pictures. I need to, and all of a sudden I started recognizing what my next layer was there as we were traveling. Don't look at your phone. If you're going to do a meditation, put it back down. If you're going to take pictures, put it back down. Don't get wrapped up. Look and envision what you're doing. Stay focused. So then I did. That was all my experience. But you see how we can, with the lessons here, is we can discover how to keep ourselves going. But we got to listen. We got to listen to our heart. We got to listen to what our next steps are. And we have to be in truth that we're not here alone. There's so many things we can do for ourselves by partnering. I call this hashtag speaker locking arms. I actually have an event coming up this Friday, and I'm going to tell you more about that because it's free and it's all along the safety pillar and about us really showing up as ourselves, the safety pillar. If we start our day off in truth, finding the biggest gratitude that we can, which lane do you want to go down? Sometimes we wake up fully on this path that's all negative. We can't get out of it. Depression, thinking about stuff, forward, future, anxiety stuff. And then sometimes we get here. And the meditation, the walking. This morning I was pulling weeds, smelling Mother Earth, touching my trees, talking to George, our kitty cat, just talking. Loving on things that are around me, not taking it for granted. We're in partnership. We're not alone. Utilize all of those things around you. If you're around a lot of pavement, go find a plant. Just say hello. Because they are alive. Everything around us is alive. This is the Rhonda Lou Moxy Show, where we're looking to be tenacious, excited, vulnerable, loving, being able to love ourselves, being able to love on others. That's what the Rhonda Lou Moxy Show is. We start on Monday every week at 7 a.m. because that's when we get to be bold and badass for the week. We're going, how are we going to set this up? And then those tools that you learn on Monday, you keep playing with it until we cycle around to the next Monday. Are you in? Make sure you sign up for the next Rhonda Lou Moxy Show. I can't wait to see you in with me. You can ask questions. You can play around, taking notes, dancing, loving on everything we're talking about. Use the tools. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. But let's get serious about changing this world. Let's get serious about stopping the blaming and the shaming. I call it mindset transformation entertainment. Let's keep entertaining our brain so our heart gets cohesive with the brain and it vibrates. The animals will come to us. If you have dogs, they'll love on you. They just love to be around you. Well, other people feel the same way. They just may not know that you actually are at a higher frequency, that they feel good when they're with you. And learning to be in truth with your emotions and what you're going through. That all is so important, because you'll notice you really do have some highs, but you want to ground those highs. Because if you're way up here, you're going to drop really bad when you drop down. But if you see all the good through that gratitude, you're going to find a lot of safety in your life. You're going to learn to live in the raw space. That means the stuff that's not working, you can see it, but you're allowing your vessel, your body, to be able to feel it, because you're like, yeah, there's some things out there. But you also learn the empathy about yourself. So you're thinking about your body. How can I take care of myself in a way that's different than what I've been taught? Very few families understand this. So when we're raising our kids, it's more, sometimes it's just survival. And then learning to say I love you to ourselves and to others in a deep way. Stepping in authentic, opening your heart to safety. This safety is a masterclass collaboration I'm doing. And it's called collaboration because I want people to work together and really speaking with me, guiding it, but me really speaking about how to step into that safety, how to live every day. If you have a business that's out there, or people think that, that you're all about yourself, but you realize you're actually serving, and it is not about you. But some people who don't understand that, they can kind of blame and shame you on, what you're doing. But also, how are you going to make the income so that you keep yourself feeling precious? Money's important. And clear yourself. We can talk about that at some point. Ask any questions about that. Mindset, flow, relationships, building business. There's so many things that tether together on this safety pillar. I'll get a link and make sure you sign up if you want to hang out Friday. And I think we start 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 Eastern time for 2 hours. We're going to collaborate. I'm going to go through a couple of the steps that are around the safety pillar. Have a magical day. It's Monday. It's the Rhonda Lou Moxy Show, just trying to infuse your life. My name is Rhonda, and I appreciate and respect you so much. I love you. This means I love you in sign language. You have a fabulous day. Use the tools, the gratitude. Know which path you want. Know where your energy is coming from, that's not being pushed down, but you're opening and bubbling it up. Come hang out with us on Friday. I would so love that. Have an insightful day. Namaste.